Welcome to another edition of Pitchside podcast. Today we do have a special edition, hence we have Mr. Trott Moloto. Welcome, sir.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here with your special and dedicated show to the Sandawana people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. So let's get straight to it. For those who watch Sundowns, for those who have seen you at the stadium, the younger ones that we have as fans from Mamelodi Sundowns that they don't know and understand what you do in this club, can you please explain to them?
Well, I'm more in the office of the president. And, you know, when we are in the office of the president, you are being sent to do couple of issues. You cannot then say when you are given a task, you cannot do it. You will have to go out and do it to the best of your ability. Also in the playing section, in terms of going to make finalization of signage of players, and sharing quite a couple of things with the coaches is also very, very important. And see to it that everything is in order. So
the Mapodisa Rena Mola, I nearly said scorpions. Mapodisa Rena Mola, they're saying you were involved in Cassius Mailula's signing. You're also involved with Pacey as well. Can you please explain to us what was the procedures? What is it that you did?
Well, it's very, very true. When you go and sign a youngster, a player like then Pacey Tau, I remember it's quite a couple of years, because we were working with the Motsepa Foundation with the schools, where these young players were playing football at the schools. And some supporters tipped us to say, hey, there is a young player, a very, very highly talented player. He does not deserve to be where he is right now. And being my responsibility, when they get to know the parents, first you have to win the confidence of the parents that even when you bring him to Gauteng, he'll continue with his schools, with of course what we've been championing at Mamelodi Sundowns. Sign the likes of Pacey Tau, sign the likes of Cassius Mailula. The Mailulas are from Polokwane, for your information, so it's easy to move around Polokwane because that's my hometown. And Mudiba as well. It's actually important, so that you can relate yourself to the parents, and the parents will also have that confidence. I'm not saying if I go to PE I cannot get a player from that, but we'll also have certain people that will go to PE and you know, with the talks and make things reasonable for the club. And at the end of it all, then we have the player coming, and here they are now. They are in the senior team. This is not going to stop. Day in, day out, if you are told about a highly talented player at a particular place, that's the step that you take first, and make sure that Sundowns get the best players from an early age.
Okay.
Now when I speak to you, give a little dictionary, yadi words. Give a little dictionary ya Sundowns. So it's about Sundowns in and out, generation after generation. For me, I one question. With generation after generation, you guys are looking for specific the attributes of the player. Lidi bona jwanga generation yano. compared to years and years and years, because I can go compare the generation, because le re ko nna le na le slogan in Shushan and Piano. How do you then go along the line ya Shushan and Piano? Did you want to join the attribute to the play?
I think it's a matter of sometimes having to know a player with these attributes. So we got to another like Shushan and Piano. We make it a point that this player, we exhaust everything where we first saw him.
Okay.
Give him enough time, let him grow with confidence, so that when we finalize the decisions, he's not going to come to Sundowns and not perform as expected.
Okay.
We will expect that player, because he has been seen, he has been shared a lot of, many things that happens around a player. How does he behave himself? Mm-hmm. That's why we have never had challenges when we bring players like Deco at Sundowns. We never had any challenges. Mm-hmm. What I'm talking about challenges is the misbehavior of players. Mm-hmm. We have never had that.
Okay.
Ever since at Sundowns. It's not up to the coaches to be looking at the discipline of the players, but the discipline in the field of play, yes. But when it comes to the natural things that the players likes to do, and come to offset good things that were coming from them. Yeah. So we have never experienced that at Sundowns, and we are quite happy with the respect that you guys have actually come to Sundowns. And when I think I'm correct by saying, if when you come to Sundowns, you now also teach other youngsters like the Mailulas, and so it's up to you to actually even show them the path, how to go about things, so that they can become even better than what you guys have achieved.
I have names. I have Mtawali, I have Chansi Gondwe, I have Roger Fetumba, I have Alex Babela, I have Jesse Queen Lohodi, I have Diko, I have myself, I have Tiani Mabunda, I have Bongani Zungu. I'm giving you midfielders that you saw generation after generation. Yeah. So when you guys are going out there to look for a player that plays Sundowns way, what do you look for in that player? And what makes you think this player belongs here and he will do well here?
You put him in a situation where probably I would have gone back to go and make referrals.
Everything has a reference, Mr.
When you go and make an assessment on a player, some of the things just do happen because we have actually exhausted the way this player, the way this Teko, the way this Hlompo is doing. You don't look at a player that you think after 2 years he'll still be the same. Okay. We cannot then have that kind of a player. We have a situation where we'll actually even sit down, as I did in Sibidiela, to say, let's talk to your mom, even if you're playing a professional, but you are not at the professional team. But when you come to professional at that level, we have confidence, we have the hopes that you are actually going to grow better than Teko, who was playing on the streets of Soweto, at the schools playing with the tennis. We know that you are actually going to grow above that age and become a better player for Sundowns.
So just also on the same conversation about maybe you guys being, because I think you're part of the generation that is pioneered the Shushan and Piano Sundowns. And like you're explaining the criteria and the characteristics that you're looking for when you bring in the player here. So now that's the tradition that you guys started. Do you think it's still there? Do you think the tradition is still there, or has it been improved? Where do you see this tradition of the Shushan and Piano?
I think it's at maybe what is not being used currently is those words of the shushan and the piano.
Okay.
But in terms of the football, the way it's been conducted, the movement, the passing, covering the space and attacking and stuff like that. Those are things that cannot be moved away from the players that we want at Sundowns. The player who, for instance, just came in 2 or 3 months back, been discovered playing in the synergy. Even the current type of coaches, when they first saw him, when they first assessed him, they saw incredible things about this player. So what this being a continuous thing to happen, because at Sundowns we cannot have a player at Sundowns that does not bring something like, how do I put it, the future performance in him. So it's very, very important.
So le na le nyako ja ka fork and knife.
Yeah, pila
Right,
pila, yeah.
le iketlile pale le na le talent.
Le Sauvier.
Yeah.
Al tlhape
Ha le
matsoho.
ha le tlhape matsoho le.
Le ke nkare ke tissue le.
People are saying the shushan and piano.
Yeah.
This is where the core of good football comes from during those times. And I'm talking about years back. Maybe just briefly to say, let me make you aware that shushan and piano, that's a shoe, a brush, and normally the dominant color of shoes then were black.
Okay.
But the ones that were using red, we could not stop, but we'll continue. But what I mean is that the type of polishing the shoe, moving forward and backward, and when you put that shoe down, it's already shining. And that's exactly what we do at the academy. We just still continue polishing them until they grow, until they get the system at Sundowns. When they reach the finality, when you put it down, that's why now you're watching Sundowns that is playing their two-touch football movement, and people are starting to support it. When they do the touch and move out of a tight situation, supporters are now clapping hands, which is what we want. They understand this is the type of football that must be played at Sundowns.
We have been talking about it with me, myself, Tico, and Shuka the other day when we mentioned players at Sundowns that you have to have an exceptional talent in terms of how to play in tight spaces. And looking back at Sundowns that I used to watch when I was a kid, they always have those exceptional midfielders and players that are gifted like that. So my question would be like going to Tico's question, where do you guys look for a replacement of some sort, or you look for consistency on how you assemble players?
When you're going to make a finalization, a decision of a player coming to Sundowns, I think from the academy side, they will have gone through checking this player, and as soon as they are satisfied, they then recommend that he could then come to the senior
He's ready
team.
to come, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So now, they cannot just do that without any base. They have to hold on that base to say this boy can play at Sundowns. And the coaches also at Sundowns, because it is the system that is infused in all of us at Sundowns. They know, like as I indicated, that the supporters will now be clapping hands.
Yeah.
When actually has to go to the supporters. It means it's the work that was done inside the premises of Mamelodi Sundowns. And the coaches knows what kind of football it has to be played.
So now with such a distinguished style of play, and we in South Africa, the more you do tricks, it's when people actually clap hands. And now it became, I think Sundowns was one of those pioneers actually. When you speak about the midfielders you speak about, whenever you watch them play, they play so simple. And once I got to the PSL, I understood that playing simple is the most difficult thing, because on a space you want to do tricks because you're so used to doing tricks. So I just want to know from you, what sets Sundowns apart from all the competitors? Because when I'm saying certain competitors, I'm not talking about just locally in the continent, because I think Sundowns is in the continental space. So what makes you think, or what actually you can say, or really it's one thing that makes Sundowns different from the rest of the teams?
And of course, it could be in so many different ways. Not many ways, in different ways. The fact that a player has been finally recommended to come to Sundowns at senior level. Maybe there are some other additional things that I might be missing. Final touches when you go. But all what I know from where I come from with Sundowns is that this player has to be at his best in terms of ball control, the agility, the passing,
technical abilities.
Yes,
Yeah.
now, all those kind of things. That player must be special. Not all the players that are given the talent will come to that. Some, for instance, myself, when I grew up, I was a defender. Maybe I don't think I could have made it into the Sundowns of now.
Yeah. Okay. As a defender that you were.
Yeah. But at the time, I mean, we were playing a type of football. That's why I could also fit into the type of football then. Yeah. And I remember, Teko, even when I had to retire, Skrima Shabalala said to me, man, but because I was best in my header.
Yeah.
That's why there's a name called jackknife. Jackknife. It means you're going up and hang your head on the air, and from there you're going to strike it. That was my specialty.
Oh, okay.
But on the feet at that time, I was becoming a little bit older.
Yeah.
At that time, and he said to me, man, why ungayeki lento and come and assist me ngoba ufundile uzoshaya ngesilungu mina. That is
sounds exactly like him.
Exactly. And at that time,
it's like this.
So and that's exactly what I did. Futhi uyitishera weza ukuthi uphethe yonke into wena uma ubhala lapha ne team list kuzobhala wena yabona. And that's exactly what happened at that time. I retired and started working with Skrima at that time, and
as an assistant
coach for so many years.
Yeah,
so many years.
And you also end up being a national team coach. I think it gets to now maybe questions about the national team. When maybe Trump can attest to this. When we were growing up as kids, to play for the national team was an honor, was a privilege. You want to play well for a club, but when you've been called, you celebrate. Yeah. Because of what a privilege it is. Do you think the national team still has the same effect that it did years ago? And if not, what is it that we need to do that is different, maybe to bring that back?
It's going to be difficult. The cultures of different generations and coaches that coached at the Bafana Bafana level, it has changed completely. But what we all know is the type of football. If it was maybe played by half the number of the teams in the PSL.
Yeah.
It could have actually had an impact
Yeah.
No,
with the type of football.
Yeah.
But because most of the clubs
playing
are
differently.
playing differently, they just want to get the ball, go forward,
Get
score
the-
a goal, come back and defend, and
Mm.
that. Like, so I'm sorry, they don't have that systematic way of playing. That actually leave us
Mm.
with the Sundowns trying and making the best out of how we play football.
Yeah.
But Moloto, I think I should add more question here, Yatiko, when he talks about the honor of playing for the national team. Do you think Ronaldo player in a country now, generation here today, they want to play for the national team? They are happy, they're excited to play in the Premier League first. They are excited to be called for the national team. Do you think we still have that player in the generation here?
Yeah, you're talking about different generations.
Yeah, I can give another way. I can give a different generation life in yellow. So,
Yes.
ke le ka go check gore sana le rato le la bolo na o.
Yes, we have. Yes, we have. The current players that in different teams that are playing now, they want or they wish to play. Let me be honest.
Mm.
They wish to play the Sundowns way,
Mm-hmm.
the attractive way
Of playing football.
of playing football.
Mm.
But not all the teams. I mean, most of the coaches, some of them, grew up, and from that background of growing up in their own environment is what they taught them. It will always be a challenge. It will always be difficult for them to teach something that they've never done.
They've never done, yeah. They've
So,
never learned as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Absolutely. So if maybe we, like I said, we have the dominance of clubs playing not necessarily the Sundowns way, but the way it
Football
will
should be
attract.
played.
Absolutely, it
Yeah.
will be played. It will
Mm.
attract people at the stadiums.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the stadiums, for instance. We're not getting our stadiums full. Why?
Question,
I think maybe we need to open up that and say, let's get people come and sit down and discuss, so that it should be something written as a document goes to the clubs to say, this is South Africa, this is how we play the type of football. We haven't done that. When you look at SAFA, I don't think they are equipped enough to can have those kind of personnel
Yeah.
that will want. Yes. So I think it will be very, very, very difficult. It will take quite some time.
But Moloto, what you're touching is very deep in terms of the attendance at the stadium. And I can only attend a match. I will go and watch something that will excite me. After the match, I'll be talking about this and that I saw in that match. So would you think the problem is system or the players, or the coaches that are within the system?
You know, when a player having seen something Teko doing, young players, when they see that, they wish to be like Teko,
Okay.
wish to be like Lompo. But are they being encouraged to do that? Some of the coaches do not like the way Teko plays,
Yeah.
simply because of certain background that
The background that you spoke about.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Makes sense.
So maybe because I'm seeing the school football being advertised, the channels of school football are increasing. Maybe out of that.
Yeah, might go back to where it was.
Absolutely.
Because I remember as well, we used to have like maybe 80 to 60% of the players that played
at
Kuskulu.
schools.
Yeah.
Yes. And also, if you have that percentage of players, they will also go overseas because they've learned something good from their youth. They've learned this thing. Then when time comes, they can go overseas. And go and strengthen. I mean, not to strengthen, but to improve their skills as personalities.
Yeah. And just to add on what you said, when the league was at its peak for whatever years that it was, you look at the type of coaching that was in the country then. Coaches that coached a different type of way. Paul Dolezal, you knew what to expect from Paul Dolezal. Ted Dumitru, you know the teams that Ted Dumitru, how they're going to play. You look at across the board, it comes back to what you were saying. Most of the teams were playing similar, but the difference was just more quality. Who has more better quality?
Yeah.
But there was a certain way of how South Africans play. Not juggling. There was a certain way how South Africans were playing. Then it started changing. Then we started getting affected in the Bafana team. We started getting affected in getting less players going overseas because we're focusing on things that are not football related. Juggling is not gonna help you to get a contract overseas.
No.
And in South Africa as well, as much as you speak about the fans coming to the stadium, they would have clap for you or juggling than putting a killer pass that is supposed to help us to score. So I think the mentality was as well as to how we view South African football, not globally. South African football, reclown. Put the ball here, But when we switch on Mushiur level of Champions League, all the big stars, tell me which superstar does that? That was jugular ball. You've got players about Neymar that makes a difference, about Messi, Mbappe that makes a difference because of the choices that they make, especially on the ground. And Rona, you spoke about development, maybe because calling it a tusa. Right now we have coaches that encourages footballers at 8-year-old just to play. But then they offer a medal for participation. So they don't teach you how to win at age.
Of course.
They don't make you understand the importance of playing the game to win. But you know, at 8. So that when you play in the game, that's why it comes back to the conversation that we had. You're speaking about the generations that are on. Do they play to win now, or they play because of they've got an opportunity to play?
That's very, very important. That's very, very important. The mentality to want to win.
To want to win.
But at the same time, doing the right things, the right stuff. You know, you might win with another type of approach to football, or as a team. But you're not attracting even a small boy to come closer to you. Because it didn't see anything good that you're doing. So I think this should be looked into in a very, very, very serious way if we want to improve our football. Thanks for the school football. And also, I mean, the league has been there. And couple divisions, the Motsepa foundations are there. So now those will definitely generate that interest of wanting to play the best football now.
It's so sad what Dick was saying about players that only wants to play when there is no organized football. And organized football for na ke feel a team needs to be coached properly. Do you think renal resistance in our league today? Because back in the days, I can easily say, okay, I used to listen to the match on radio. I told you that story. But you can easily tell the amount of good players that were in one team. And each and every team in that league at that time used to have players that would compete. So why now we're facing these challenges of teams that don't want to come out and compete?
Well, it could be that fear of wanting to come out because of lack of the skills, or because of lack of what do you call it? The personnel as players. When you mentioned all those names of players, I mean, what are you talking about? Some of them might not be the product of South Africa, coming from different countries. But what they then did when they arrived in South Africa, they taught our Tego. They taught our Hlompo the type of football that we play in our countries. Let's have that. Let's share this with. But for instance, unfortunately, things have dipped down. You look at Cameroon as a country. Are they still playing the type of football?
No.
Cameroon. There are clubs in particular. For instance, we're having Cotton Sport that will be coming here soon. But they are not at that level. Probably they also want, to can get something tangible, something workable, so that they can actually improve.
Yeah.
Very
I hear
interesting.
you.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Get worried in terms of how today, when we look at our national team, it's a total reflection of the clubs in the PSL. And it goes back when you mentioned personnel. But I look at every team sheet in South African leagues. I can easily say that I see potential. But why is that potential not being out there, blossom, even out there, and everybody be like, okay, this is a player that will help us in the national team? Do you think it's how the teams runs, or
I think it's the attitude.
or the attitude of players?
It has to be the attitude of the
You
player.
think so?
Because there's no way we can keep changing, rotating coaches,
Yeah.
but the players. What's the most common denominator here? Are the players.
The players. Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no way that we can. Of course, we've seen situations where coaches temper with the player's career, maybe not play you, whatever the case may be. But we've also seen opportunities where coaches taking risk with their jobs and give players opportunity to play.
Yeah.
Especially when you get into a team, you want to play your own way. Give players an opportunity to play. But that's why it comes back to what we say. Do players play because they're talented, or they play because this is what they want to do? This is what they. Because there's a difference when you finally reach your dreams. Your dreams finally come through. It's totally different from Trott who bawpikile because the ball.
Yeah.
So now you realize that you've got a talent, but football is not your thing. But it's an easy and quickest way to get to where you want to go. To buy a house, it's the quickest way. But do you have the passion for it? No. Because then if you don't have the passion for it, then you'll have a pride already. Because we're in a competitive sport. Sundowns, Sundowns in 2 months. So there's no, because even when I look at the teams that are where's the pride of showing that I'm actually better? Try, like you can see this person tries. If he can be surrounded by good players, or level it good team, and you can see there's a lot of potential, but there's something within that circle. So that's just my take on it. But I don't think the coach we can have Pep Guardiola can come here. If he can try whatever that he wants, if the attitude of the players are not willing to receive, because the flop remember South Africa is we don't want to receive information. If Trott was a coach, step over somehow. You're taking too many touches. So by the time you step over, so now when I look aside, so I can change a ball. So now you can't learn. You have to absorb.
Because you're not one generation to
someone by masokisi.
No, only the players they are different ka personalities. But hale compete le bontsha hore la compete. Baba nang le dipelwana tseo ne le dila jwang le bona.
You see, at the time, most of the players. Allow me to use Sundowns situations. Most of the players that actually came to play for Sundowns, you could not come to Sundowns not having the heart and the desire.
Okay.
That you are going to play for Sundowns and you have to be the best.
Okay.
There was no player that was brought to Sundowns as a favor. From all the generations that came, your generations, that were you guys here, you came to Sundowns because you are the best. you were the best.
Mm.
That's why I'm saying when we're to determine when is the time for us to approach this team, to approach this player, we'll go full out to go and get that player to come and play for Sundowns. Because we think either as coaches, as administrators, as we all think that this player is the best suited for the type of football at Sundowns. And he can actually make a difference. Not only that, you're not only coming to Sundowns and play, but you've got to make a difference.
Because a talented player.
If this is the level, now the personnel should then say, you know what, I think I'm stepping up.
Okay.
And when he's stepping up, the heart wants also to be better than him. Now it's an elevation. Always it's a competitive level. Always. And that has actually been happening at Sundowns.
And it helps the team to evolve,
of course,
so much to achieve those results, because the club itself, these players themselves, they need to compete. Because the only time, because the thing is, like, sometimes you compete, but also knowing and allowing yourself to be the best teammate, like Coach Peter would normally say.
Yeah.
But once you create a healthy competition here, it's easy to compete over the weekend, because those are guys that see you once in a month, or once, whatever the case may be, once a fixture, or maybe twice in a fixture, because home and away.
Yeah.
But the most difficult thing is to compete with these people that knows your characteristics, your attributes every day.
Yeah.
So go on this thing out. Once there's no the culture of competing, ifela, then we're gonna have this thing out and be unable to count how many good players that are playing out there from which team. Whereas before, you'd wake up at 9 and watch Real Rovers at 9. Because what's you used to know all those things. So now it's not that we're lacking quality, not that we're lacking talent. It's just that now the pride that we used to have as footballers is slowly going away, because of now we're getting exposed too soon. We're getting profiled too soon. Shapa 2 goals or profile.
Yeah.
Actually, that's
You know?
hyper the player. Do nagana gore re ba hyper ba so it's next over never se ba fitle picking ya bona.
I think it's very, very important to actually thinking of doing that at an early age. It cannot maybe be the age, but maybe let's talk about the time.
The timing, yeah.
The timing must be perfect. So that, I mean, at Sundowns, you all know, at Sundowns we cannot bring a player, whether he's locally Uchuaga Molepo or he's coming from South America or what. But that player has to fit in the characteristics of other players that have actually gone through at Sundowns, or some of them that are still there at Sundowns. He has to be that kind of a player.
So Gigi Sanders' way of play.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let's rega batho ka di check ne le rega Sundowns way of play. I can never see the bank.
Wala taka check ile guy.
I was on the left it bounce
No, I bounced out like Thomas. It was just 6 months.
But in between dlala mo.
In between, pasa dikish. Rekara di points.
Was a play by le we follow that
I got say need.
Who say need?
Oh, wow, that's nice.
I get say you have a question.
But the other point is when you go to the townships, when you go to the houses, let me not only say townships, but in all the family environments at home, these people have a wish to want to send their players to Sundowns. It could be from that young players in the academy, because we now offer them something like for instance the education. They come to Sundowns simply because they are the best.
Mm.
Simply because they are the best. We see talent in them. They no longer, the parents that is, they no longer pay the school fees. But their kids are taken to an environment which is so conducive in terms of education and football. So these youngsters, it's very, 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 very key. Other parents share this with their other parents to say,
The
my son,
neighborhood.
my son is at that particular place at Sundowns, at school. He stays there. I can only see my son once a month and stuff like that. And the parents meeting, I do attend parents meeting. So this is key. This is very, very important for these youngsters to be in that situation. Because they some of them sooner you will watch them playing in the senior team of Sundowns. And that is an encouragement automatically outside to other family members to want to take care of their kids, the boys, to bring them to school.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, regas feeds again.
No.
Regas feeds. Apona lebo ma 50 years of experience.
Yeah, no.
Generation Ahora fetsa le recording tla be fair.
Yeah. We were sharing something earlier on about the shushan and piano. It was innovated by Uskrema, like as I said. When it comes to certain things, my mhlula uyahamba, he'll go somewhere and come back with a land. What yasemfana kithi lesilungu sakho mani ngeke sokusebenzela. Yeah. Bheka mina ngibuya ngiphethene manje. Ngiphethe into enzima la ngaphandle ndoda kusho kuthiwa ishama goal. It was at that time that we were moving to Malawi. Yeah. We go to Orkney Emamine.
Yeah.
Abu September cheaper Masinga. They were there. Yeah. So at that time. Yeah, we used to Sundowns even then used to bring the best players. But the main opponent was Uchomo. Uchomo Manitino Labafana sabacheka after 3 months.
Abafika bathathe.
Uyena bafika bathathe. Ubathalisa ema back room eUlanda. Ubathalisa ema back room. And remember Saba settled. He bring them to my school because I was a teacher.
Yeah.
So he bring them trap lamba fana laba ungalingi wenze anything. Sesayinile basemayinile abafana ba wrong up ungasondele lapha. Yeah, but the long and short of it is that people were following Sundowns. So where Sundowns were looking at talent.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Our leader way in South Africa,
Hey,
trendsetters.
The trendsetters.
Yes.
I like that.
Now, this is Sundowns.
Yeah.
People will follow.
So Ndatimlot, before no the traveling very flexible like now, jumping the borders, but you used to have the foreigners to the top. And my father used to tell me about Chansi Gondwe. And I watched him a little bit.
Yeah.
Chansi Gondwe was a midfield general.
Left-footed. It was playing.
Hey, kama gogonyana so.
Go team yako ntweni barke ka
yako
Maritzburg.
Yeah.
Maritzburg. Not Maritzburg United.
Yeah.
But Maritzburg City.
Okay.
He came there and with a left. Now he left that team, went to Bushbucks, Durban Bushbucks. He played in the same team of Professor Ngubani, Machuba Magwaza, those kind of players at Bushbucks. Bushbucks were competing, were winning trophies at that particular time. They were competing with Sundowns. You can only compete any other team, Sundowns. Yeah. But you are correct. Charles Gondwe was from Malawi. He came with Ernest Chirwalis.
Okay.
Yes. Cedric Nakumas.
Cedric Nako.
Yeah, they were from Malawi.
Le ba thola kae? Ke mang ba latang go Malawi?
Go fihla bjang?
Yeah, o fitla jo tseba jo go.
Eh, but
Because
those are direct
there
flights.
was no TV.
Yeah.
No, but what we used to do, me and understand for Sundowns. Maba ngezwa ukuthi no kunomfana. We forced to play the match on a Saturday.
Okay.
And then fly immediately after the match to Malawi.
Okay.
We're going to watch
Whoever that is been.
is playing on Sunday, and then come back same night or maybe on Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the money was not a problem that time.
Yeah.
Uzola was there. Uzola Mahobi was there.
Yeah.
So
But like cash on deliver.
Yeah.
Mara ke wa re di go ra go na phone call. Le phone a jwa. Le ngwalla le ngwalla.
No, nearly most of the time, nearly a phone that you'll do it at the post office.
Yeah.
I feel that name phone call.
No. I mean when you use the what do you call the post office call.
Yeah.
It's known. You agree for 2 days. You'll be there. After 2 days, I'm going to call you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't just call
You
random.
can't just call random.
So next week.
Yeah, next week
At
they
this
can
time.
have a
At this
phone.
time.
I must
Yeah.
wait that
You can
phone.
wait for 3 hours.
Yeah.
But because
You said you were gonna call.
business,
Yeah.
Obatla Chelet, he'll go there in the 3 to 4 hours. And that time,
I miss the phone really real.
Yeah.
But also I think maybe
Yes.
on that sense, VV, because of there was no means of transport that is easier. There was you were using everything by ear, and you're being proactive. Oh, you're there.
Yeah.
You just want to see for yourself. And I think also because of you knew the difficulties of Hotola di Platz, you made sure that when you get one, you get a quality
Oh, no,
because
sure,
of
sure,
yeah.
sure.
So now because of everything is easier.
Need the trust.
Yes.
Trust.
Exactly.
The trust to say that boy
Yeah.
is dynamic.
Yeah.
He's the best. Now, because I trust you,
Yeah.
now anything
Yeah.
nonsense.
Yeah.
I trust you.
Yeah.
If you say that boy is what? So somebody phoned him and then he say no.
Yeah.
Tell these people one a man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's how we used to get the player, because it was not that easy to can travel and come back and see him and go back. Yeah. So you'll have a person in Malawi
Or that deals with that deal.
that
Yeah.
that will then make a deal.
To say this is Sundance player.
Yeah.
But Abu Lentos, Abu Cedric Nakuma, Enes Chiral,
Yeah.
they came by bus.
From Malawi.
Yeah. They came by bus.
Saturday.
No, it's not a jet lag, bus lag. There's no such thing. As soon as you land at 2, 3 o'clock, Pagat, first line up. Now 18 hours of traveling that time.
But they were extremely talented.
No, they were. I've seen Chirwali, my brother.
The boss, he can score. He can score anywhere from the center line.
Yeah.
He can score.
Nna ke mmone hanyane ko Pirates was young ko high school.
Yeah.
Ke mmone ko Pirates.
Yeah.
Red Locks yana uthaba mgomeni in the midfield.
Yes.
But he used to score those goals.
Kapeme.
Yeah, come
Yeah.
on.
Mo, kaile rins.
Yeah. Mara short tseo na di
Khala bona na tsamaya mfethu.
What's in that?
Akutse ke na bafamo yini? Ke eng?
I don't know. What's Sundowns?
Yeah.
There's a place. Ibitswang konje. And I'm sure it's able. Look, I know it's able. Eskom.
Okay.
Babal playing about Eskom.
Okay.
Eskom con training. When Eskom in a little field, take about 4.
Yeah.
Megawatt Park.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you know that place?
Yeah.
In
No,
a little
Megawatt.
ground.
Yeah.
Sundowns was training there
Okay.
from the, but we're having players from Pretoria,
Yeah.
Leba Joburg,
Yeah.
Iba training. So we had to come with the system because we cannot go and train Pretoria.
Yeah.
So we found a common place.
Center place.
And Baba Tamaka Kumbia Bona, Baba Tamaka
Yeah.
Kumbia. So no, they were there. So that's where we got Abu Enes Chirat.
Yeah.
And we started to be professional. No, if this team performed well. On the day, the first training, they wear uniform to train. Others about all uniform.
Yeah.
Yeah, abana train. Now, you know what?
Yeah.
We were, you know, it was a nice system.
A way of competing.
Yeah. Enticing.
Yeah.
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 So no, abana mina ngihamba nginje angiphathanga nix.
Yeah.
Angiphathanga mara ngiyotrain.
Yeah, train. Yeah.
Ngampela mafika lapha no thola ama cogs, thola ilentuza and then
Yeah.
train. So even the following day, you don't worry about washing.
Yeah, because you've got somebody that
Now,
has to.
these
Yeah.
others that are not getting a chance, they're performing to the best of their ability. They want to be in the
Yeah.
team that does not wear ilentuza.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's another method that we used to have at that time.
Wow, interesting. So, mafelong a kgwedi ne letsa jwang?
Mona.
Check ne tswa kae?
No,
Envelope.
they were paid.
Little wages.
they were-
It's a salary.
I into yeah. No. I mean,
50 tlhaka le tla share la da 125.
we were paid cash. Normally, allow me to use this name. Ntate Mang. Limo, I'm sure he has worked. Yeah. Maroto East Rand.
Mango.
Le thama le lengwe manne le spana iso. Ne lona le sereng ntwene.
Yeah.
Ntwe ya nyoko. It's about the salary, it's about the mama le di envelope
Yeah.
di kenye mola. Wo ke mang
Yeah, la ba finally ba intsha mo.
Just like that. So it was quite interesting. Because to them, the players at that time, when they see the new innovations,
Yeah.
they started to like, and naturally they just compete. The following day you will see a different football.
Ko ntate Moloto to pampotsa ka play ba re ke semi Trott. Papa ka ilampotsa ka yona.
Wow.
Doctor ilampotsa ka yona maloba mo a ke le mo. Ke motho mo jwang as a player.
It's not. What I'm saying?
Why sa le jalela sanda?
Jesus, what do you mean? Semi-Triton, the first team that he played for South Africa, Semi-Triton,
O tle Sundowns.
the best number 6. The best number 6.
Una dlala position.
Your position.
Okay.
Hanali didn't know sibona wena son.
Esan!
I'm telling you.
Esan! Ne ke tla compete le yena. Oh.
Na le blind.
Semi-Triton.
Eh. Is this a semi-Trott ke mona ngo tax? O ba re bolele ka mphwe
The born. Iya ko yena.
Okay.
Iya ko yena or ko yena or hey, Trott said I must say hi to you. He said Trapato. You'll just laugh. Ke yena Semi-Triton.
Okay.
My dad used to tell me about that.
No. Ke Semi-Triton. He came to the club and the first closest friend ya hae ne le Mark Anderson. Mark
Okay.
Anderson ne le number 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah. Le silo rule.
Le silo rule. No ba re ke le silo rule.
So na dlala Sundowns jwang a dlala shooters. Ya ke re na sa dribble motho.
No. He national skill sa dribbling. But at the same time
Eh, le o linda butelays.
yeah.
O ra re nka mohlola ka skill.
Mercedes Benz.
Sonte le lwana.
Ah, o tla re nka mohlolo ka
O
skill.
ra ne ke tlo shopa step wena Moloto you feel.
Yeah, maybe ka skill ya no ka mofeta but
But it was a
in
top player.
terms of discipline, the number 6,
Yeah.
the best.
Trott, before kwala, before ba lla batho ba di camera mo ba re filime fela. What are your last thoughts on what's your message rather to Mamelodi Sundowns fans as we've seen the number have grown, especially the attendance? What's your encouragement to them to, especially leading to, you know, couple of games that sitting towards the end of the season?
I'm so happy. I'm so delighted that we having this line of communication with our dear supporters. We love our supporters, and our supporters have never disappointed us in the past years. Most of them are so committed and traveling with the team different places. That we appreciate very much, because we think about them as supporters at Mamelodi Sundowns. And I've seen this couple of matches, they've been attending them with big
Numbers.
big number.
Mm.
And if we can develop it, develop that culture, keep doing exactly what they've been doing in this couple of matches of the international matches, and we appreciate their efforts, their time that they spend with the Sundowns people.
Yeah.
Feel encouraged. Thank you.
Ke leboga ntate Moloto.
Hale bua bra Trott.
ke lebogile go
Nna ke sure gale re feditse o record.
Ah, cool.
Aba so fetse.
Kona re fetsang bjano.
Kona re fetsang bjano. E gogile.
I'm sure na le ntho tse ke di buileng di sa tshwanang ka ne di tlile mo.
Ah,
Ba
ntse re kona le no.
Record ale no.
Cut. Rikwale. Another episode of Pitchside podcast in the bag. This was a special edition with Trott, Moloto, and we out.